All right, the East Palestine train derailment has captured headlines. Now, the Biden administration has had its focus elsewhere, and that includes the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. He surveyed the damage today, in person, for the first time. Perhaps shamed to finally visit after 20 days to see the destruction himself. He was actually asked today what took him so long.
What I tried to do was balance two things: my desire to be involved and engaged and on the ground, which is how I am generally wired to act, and my desire to follow the norm of transportation secretaries, allowing NTSB to really lead the initial stages of the public-facing work.
Okay. Yeah, right. Got it. Well, many citizens of East Palestine are left wondering what their legal options could be to remedy this train derailment and the ecological disaster that it has caused. Well, join me now to discuss this and more is the Ohio Attorney General, Dave Yost. General Yost, welcome back to the program.
Good to see you, Tony.
So can you provide us a quick update on the latest there from East Palestine?
Well, we did get that NTSB initial report today. It appears that the ball bearings and the railroad wheel assembly did get to a critical overheat several minutes before it reached East Palestine. The meaning of that is going to need to be understood in context, but certainly it's an equipment failure, and the question is, why did it fail? Who knew about it, and could it have been prevented?
Now, you, in your role as the Attorney General, you represent the citizens of the state, and you're looking at legal options that the citizens might have. What options might there be for the state of Ohio to take action against the railroad?
Well, there are some possibilities under federal law. In addition, we have state law claims. It looks as though there may be some environmental damage beyond just the initial cleanup around the site. The hydrochloride, the vinyl chloride is heavier than water, and I have some concerns whether it's embedded in stream beds in the area. We're in the process of finding out exactly what the facts are. That will drive our legal strategy.
The good thing about Ohio, when you look at the leadership there and even your congressional delegation there, there's a quite strong unity there with the governor, with yourself, with your congressional delegation, especially those that Bill Johnson represents that area. But and by the way, I mean, I would not say that the federal government's responsible for this. They certainly are not. This is the railroad. They bear the responsibility. But the response of the federal government, from my perspective, but you correct me if I'm wrong, under the leadership of Secretary of Transportation Buttigieg, seems to be a little lackluster.
I couldn't disagree with that assessment. He went 10 days before he mentioned this at all, and then it was only in a tweet. And it took him, as you mentioned in your opening, till today, almost 3 weeks after the disaster, to actually show up on the site and talk to the people. And with all respect, it's not interfering with the NTSB investigation for the Secretary of Transportation to come out to the site of an epic railroad disaster and hear the concerns and see the damage for himself. There's no interference with that. What that does is respect a group of people that there along the valley have been too long forgotten.
Right. Well, it also shows it's a priority. I mean, I've been in government, and when you have government officials go to a site, it says, hey, as you said, we respect you, but also we recognize this is a problem, and we're going to focus on it. When it takes you, 20 days to get there, it leaves you wondering if this really is a priority.
Well, unfortunately, I see what I think might be a pattern here. When we had the supply chain disruptions in 21 and 22, that's squarely on the desk of the transportation secretary. And yet he seemed to not be terribly involved in that. Last Christmas, when the air traffic control system melted down, you'll
Yeah.
remember that we had days of disaster. Where was he? And why didn't he see this coming? I just, there's a lot of people, including me, that are wondering whether he's quite up to this job.
Yeah, you're not alone in that. I think this is the results of the left's identity politics. You put someone in a position because they check one of your political identity boxes. They're not qualified for the post. Attorney General Yost, always great to see you. Thanks so much for taking time to join us today.
Take care, my friend.